Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you every single type of zombie that is in the game. They are billions. Now this video will be good for anybody who has not played this game yet, anyone who has played the game but is very new to it, or even experienced players, because I myself didn't even know until I started looking more closely at all the different types of zombies. I'm also going to be showing you some stats of the zombies. We'll be comparing to the other zombies, and I'm going to be ranking the zombies from harmless at 7, a rank 7, to very deadly at rank 1. Coming in at rank 7 is a group of zombies. It's the infected young, infected aged, and the infected decrepit. So these three zombie types all have the same exact stats, and I would put them in a group called the infected walkers, because all they do is they walk towards you. So if you look at the stats here, they all have 0 armor. Each of them have 35 hit points. They each have 0.4 movement speed, 0.5 attack range, 6 attack damage, 1 attack speed, and that attack speed is per second. That's important for later. So that would put their damage at 6 damage per second, and then view range of 5. And if we just quickly go compare, you can see that is the same, and you can also see that is the same. And you'll typically find these zombies very close to your base. They are going to be the first zombies that you generally run into when you're playing on pretty much any difficulty, but generally on the higher difficulties, on brutal difficulty, your base will typically be surrounded in all directions by zombies, and these guys are going to be the frontline zombies that you run into. Big groups of them all stacked together, and as you can see, they all have kind of different animations. Like here's the infected young, they kind of got their own animation. These guys kind of take a step or two and slide towards you, and then you've got the infected age, a lunge step in a way. But yeah, all of them, they move the same. Even though their animations look different, they do move at the same. Coming in at rank 6 is a group of 2 zombies, the infected colonists, and there is an infected colonist male, as you can see right here. And then there is also an infected colonist female, which would be right here, right there, and right there, just so you can kind of get a feel for the animation of what they look like. And then, of course, they have a different portrait. But yes, these 2 zombies, I'm putting them both at rank 6 because they've got exactly the same name and exactly the same stats, aside from the fact that they're male or female. So they are coming in rank 6 with 45 hit points, 1 armor, so that's an improvement from the walkers, 1.75 movement speed, so they are runners. They will run at you, and you'll generally find them in groups, and they will mob towards you. So you do not want to draw these guys back to your home base early on in the game. 0.6 attack range, which is the same as the infected walkers. However, now they do have 9 attack damage and 1.11 attack speed per second. So if you do the math, that's 9.99 damage per second. And then a view range of 6. And these guys are generally found in the same area as the infected fresh, which here is 1, and then another infected fresh right there. So there's, once again, I'm going to put these guys, or this guy and this girl, I'm going to put both of them in rank 5 because they're slightly better than the infected colonist group. And they have exactly the same stats as each other, the infected fresh do. So for the infected fresh male, as you can see, there's the animation, and then an infected fresh female, there's the animation. So the reason these 2 are slightly better than infected colonists is because of their damage per second. As you can see, their attack damage is 10 and their attack speed is 1. So it is less attack speed, but more damage upon their attack. And if you do the math, it's 10 damage per second, which is 0.01 better than the infected colonists. So they are, like I said, slightly better, just very slightly better. But it does make a difference in the very, 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 very long run. And by math, it's better. So 45 hit points once again for these 2. You've got 1 armor, 1.75 movement speed, 0.6 attack range, 10 attack damage, 1 attack speed, and 6 view range. And you'll generally find all of these together. And the next group we're going to get to in just a little bit are the infected executives, but I'll get there in a moment when I find a big group of them, which are just around the corner. But I just wanted to show you that you generally find all of these rank 6 and rank 5 groups together, and as you can see, They all run towards you in a big mob, and it is very hard to deal with them once they're grouped up like this. If you do come across them, best thing you can do early game is you kind of run like this, get out of their view range, and then run a different direction. So they run the direction that they last saw you, and then eventually they stop running. But occasionally they will keep traveling in that distance, whether it's walking or it is running. Actually, I don't know if the runners can walk, but yeah, they will every now and then keep traveling the same distance. So if you run towards your base, and even if you got out of their view range, they'll still keep running in that direction to look for you, and they might come towards your base. You got to coming in the rank 4 position are the infected executives. So there's just one zombie type in this group, but these zombies, as you can see, they are in suits and they are very professional, and they're undead. They have 80 hit points, so they're pretty darn nasty. Caution, infected executive are very tough and strong, and that is very right. So 80 hit points, that is 35 more hit points than the infected fresh and infected colonists. They only have 1 armor, so it's the same as the previous 2 groups. They've got 1.75 movement speed, the same as the previous 2 groups. 0.6 attack range, the same as all the previous groups. 12 attack damage, big improvement. So it's 2 more damage than the infected fresh, and they have 0.25 more attack speed than infected fresh. It's only 0.14 more attack speed than infected colonists, but like I said, it's about the damage per second that really matters. So yes, this damage per second in both areas, the attack damage and attack speed is already better than the previous 2 groups. So not only do they have this really high damage per second, they also have the really good hit points, and they have a view range of 6. And once again, you're going to find these infected executives in groups with the other runners, the previous 2 groups in ranks 6 and 5, but you will also find them in just big groups of just infected executives. So if we unpause here, as you can see, we go a little bit further, and all of a sudden, holy cow, there's a ton of them all right next to each other. And if you run into those zombies, get the heck out of there. You really don't want to mess with the infected executive groups. Coming in rank 3 is the infected chubby group. These guys are huge, and they have a ton of hit points. So the infected chubby, his infected chubby body can support a huge amount of damage before he dies. So 600 hit points. Ridiculous. So whenever you run into these guys, yes, it's going to take you a while to take them down. They've got 2 armor, so not only do they have the high hit points, they have more armor than all the previous rankings. They've got 1.75 movement speed, so even though they are big, they still run fast. They've got 0.7 attack range, so it is slightly better than, for example, the infected executive. 40 attack damage. Ridiculous. So essentially, they can 2-hit any ranger. And if you're going up against a soldier, I think it's more like 3 hits. And then attack speed is only 1, but that's still 40 damage per second, so it's pretty darn high. And then they've got a view range of 5. So, a little less view range than the infected executive. So if you accidentally come across these infected chubbies, you do have a better chance of getting away, but still very nasty. Now, these guys, I'm putting them at rank 3 instead of rank 2 like these infected Venoms. I'm putting them at rank 3 because they are slightly less deadly, in my opinion, than infected Venom. But I'm going to get there in just a little bit. So you're generally going to find these infected chubbies in groups with a bunch of other infected executives, other infected young, infected aged, so the walkers. You're going to find other runners around here as well. Basically, just any type of zombie you're going to find around these infected chubbies. But you're also going to be finding these other special infected, like the infected Venom, and then the Harpies, which we're going to get to in just a little bit here. But yes, you're generally going to find them all in big groups, and then you're going to run into these infected chubbies in about mid-game when those attack waves come for your base. So starting off in the game, you're probably going to run into runners in the first wave and the second wave, and then around like the 4th or 5th wave, then you start getting infected chubbies incorporated into the attack waves. So not only do you run into these guys far on the outskirts of the map, the infected chubbies, but they also start coming in the mid-game waves, which makes them quite hard to deal with when you are defending your base. And as you can see, They move at the same speed as those infected executives, but if you do happen to run into them, they will take you out very fast, and they take a ton of damage. So you will be shooting at them for a while if you do not have very many units. Moving on to rank 2. The infected Venom. This corrupt swamp creature can spit its infected and acid saliva, causing damage to several units at a time. So that is why, right there, that description is why I'm putting them at rank 2 alone. There's just one unit in this group, and that's the infected Venom. These guys can spit out acid that does area damage. So if you're hunting around the outskirts of a map with a bunch of rangers or a bunch of soldiers or snipers, whatever type of unit you have, and these guys spit on you, that acid damage will area affect all the units you have clumped together. And if you're not paying attention, if you look away back to your home base, for example, you want to start putting down some tents or cottages, whatever you're doing, get some more food. These guys spit out acid on your units and you're not paying attention, all of a sudden all of your units are dead at the same time. They're very nasty and hard to deal with. And not only that, you're going to find them on the outskirts of the map. So you don't have to deal with them right away, but later on, towards the end game, you're going to be running into a ton of these guys in the enemy waves, and they're really nasty to deal with because generally, if, for example, if you have a bunch of like auto turrets up, not turrets, ballistas. Yeah, ballistas is the word I'm looking for. I guess I don't have them researched right now, but yeah, if you have a bunch of ballistas up or executors or shock towers, any of that stuff up, they're generally not going to focus on the infected Venom first unless you select high priority target. But even then, they might focus on the infected Chubbies instead. But these guys sit in the back of the wave and they spit their acid onto the walls and help take the walls down so much faster. So yeah, very nasty to deal with. Now if we go to stats, they've got 120 hit points, so that's already more than infected executive, so they already have a lot of hit points. They only have 1 armor, so it's a little bit less than the infected Chubby, just by 1, but the same as the infected executive. They've got 1.75 movement speed, so they can run at you. 5 attack range, which is ridiculous. 30 attack damage. 0.5 attack speed. So that is the 1 plus here, and then they have 8 view range. So basically, if you spot them, they're going to have you spotted as well, and they're going to start coming for you. That is the downside. There's basically no... like as soon as you run into the general area of these guys, there's no not triggering them. They're going to start coming after you. But the best part about these infected Venoms is there is a way you can deal with their spit. So basically they throw their spit at you and you can dodge it. See that green acid? As soon as that comes towards you, you can just run out of the you can run and dodge it. And then you can go back, throw a couple hits on these guys, and then as soon as they spit again, because they only have 0.5 attack speed, you just run out and then come back in. So very easy to deal with them if you are paying attention. Not paying attention, then you're in big trouble. And now, since I just triggered a Harpy, we're just going to go straight into our rank 1 for the most deadly zombie. And that is the infected Harpy. 120 hit points here. Here is the image. Very creepy looking image for them. It does not seem very dangerous, but this infected girl is so fast that it can jump over the walls and kill any soldier with its sharp claws. So, they can jump over walls? What? That's ridiculous. Not only that, they've got crazy fast movement speed. As you can see, if you were watching just a second ago, that Harpy came out of nowhere and started running at us really fast. So they've got 1 armor, not that great for, how high they are in the rankings. 120 hit points. That's, still pretty decent. But the nasty part is this 5 movement speed. As you can see, Rangers only have 4 movement speed. Soldiers move even slower. Snipers slower. Thanatos even slower. So yeah, Harpies, pretty much they're going to catch anything that you have. 5 movement speed. So you have to kill them as soon as you see them. Like, make sure if you're targeting these zombies, make sure to target down the Harpy right away as soon as you see one. They've got 0.5 attack range. So actually, it's even better. So as soon as they get, somewhat close to your vicinity, they're going to attack you. And if you're still running, like if your unit is still alive, they're going to be able to catch up to you and attack you right away again because of their pretty decent attack range for meleeing and the movement speed. And then the scariest part is this attack damage. 60 damage. Holy cow. So yeah, they can one-hit Rangers. Soldiers, it'll take them 2 hits. Snipers, even more because they have more HP. Thanatos, even more. But yeah, either way, ton of damage. And the really nasty part is when they come, They don't come in the early waves, but they come end game waves, and they're really nasty because they jump over those walls. And yeah, your walls are protecting you from all those zombies. Your ballistas and your executors, they're going to be safe, and so is Thanatos, and so on and so forth. But these harpies will jump over those walls, and they'll start attacking your actual defenses behind the walls. And that can, you know, completely destroy your whole defense setup. If they infect those ballistas and take them down, what else do you have to shoot at the zombies? So yeah, you gotta be really careful whenever you see these. Make sure to target those down first, no matter wherever you see them. Target them down first. Then they've got 1.67 attack speed. So not only this, you know, 60 damage per attack, but they do more than 60 damage per second because of the crazy good attack speed. And then they have 8 view range. So just like the infected Venom, as soon as you spot them, they've got you spotted, and they're going to come for you. There's basically no way, as soon as you see them, that you're not going to have them coming after you. So you got to get the heck out of there. Well, actually, you can't get the heck out of there. You got to just start shooting them down. That's pretty much your only option if you're roaming around the map. If you see them when you're defending, make sure to click on your ballistas or whatever units are defending the walls and target them down first. And then I would, after that, start going for the infected Venoms. Well, that is all of the zombies so far. Those are the zombies so far in this beta version of They Are Billions. And I'm definitely thinking there are going to be more zombies because they've got so many options. There's so much they can do with this game right now, and it's blowing up. It's so popular that I don't see why they wouldn't add more zombies and more different game types and everything to provide for their fans. So they can, I mean, in the end, they're going to make more money if they give the fans what they want. So I'm definitely thinking there's going to be a lot more zombies, and I'm interested to see if they're going to make anything nastier than the infected Harpy. But yeah, there's my rankings for you. There's every single type of zombie, how to handle them, and, you know, what their actual stats are. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Leave a like, and I'll see you